Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Today we will study about nutrition in humans. As we know that we human are omnivores. We can eat both plant as well as animal. As we are more complex, we have developed a complicated nutrition system. Now the digestive system which we have, it consists of two parts, alimentary canal and associative digestive gland. So I am repeating myself, digestive system consists of two parts, an alimentary canal and associated digestive gland, which together function to nourish the body. Now let us know that what is digestion. Digestion is the process in which the food is broken down into a simpler substances so that it can be easily absorbed by our body cells. Digestion is the process in which the complex food is broken down into the simple substances so that it can be easily absorbed by our body cells. There are 5 stages of human nutrition. Ingestion, the food we take in. Digestion, I told you. Absorption, it is absorbed by our body cells. Assimilation, then the catabolism and anabolism takes place, metabolism, and the unwanted particles is wasted out from our body by the process of egestion. Now there are 4 stages: egestion, digestion, absorption and egestion. In the ingestion, digestion, absorption and egestion, this all takes place in the alimentary canal, while assimilation of food takes place in the whole body. That means all the cells of our body need assimilate these substances, because it needs to assimilate for the future purposes so that it can utilize it. Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal in human is a long tube of varying diameter. So our alimentary canal starts with mouth. Our alimentary canal starts with mouth and ends with anus. Okay. Now, what are the organs which are involved in alimentary canal? What are the organs of an alimentary canal? Mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine are the parts of the alimentary canal. These are the parts of the alimentary canal. Now first we will study about mouth. We all know that it is the opening of the alimentary canal and helps in ingestion of food. Just now I told you that our alimentary canal starts from mouth, and our mouth helps in ingesting the food. It helps in ingesting the food. The buccal cavity, which is present behind the mouth, is also commonly referred to as mouth. When we open our mouth, this mouth is referred as a buccal cavity. Okay, and we know that in buccal cavity we have one teeth, we have teeth and one tongue. We have teeth and tongue. Clear? Now there are two sets of teeth. There are two sets of teeth: temporary teeth, permanent teeth. Temporary teeth are 20 in number, which is also known as milk teeth. Okay. Now, temporary teeth are the teeth which starts growing from 6 months or 10 months to 5 to 12, 4 to 5 years. After this teeth, when this teeth falls off, it is replaced by the permanent teeth. Now, permanent teeth are 32 in number. Permanent teeth are 32 in number. Okay. Now, this set of teeth helps in mastication of food. With the help of this teeth only, we can chew the food. We can chew the food. Now, the tongue we all know that our tongue has taste buds. There are many taste buds which helps in tasting the food: sweet, sour, salty, bitter. Clear? Now, this saliva, and in our mouth, we also have saliva. Now, this salivary gland also open up in the buccal cavity and pour saliva. This salivary glands open into buccal cavity and pour saliva, which initiates the process of digestion. How it initiates the process of digestion? By breaking down the carbohydrates into a simple glucose. Saliva contains an enzyme known as salivary amylase. Saliva contains an enzyme known as salivary amylase, which helps in breaking down of starch or complex carbohydrate into glucose, which breaks down starch into glucose. Now, we will study about teeth. In buccal cavity, I told you that buccal cavity consists of teeth and tongue. Now, we know there are 4 kinds of teeth. What are the 4 kinds of teeth? Incisors, canines, premolars, molars. Okay. Now, incisors are the in an adult permanent teeth. There are 16 in each jaw. 16 teeth are there in each jaw. From when we are talking about 16 in each jaw, the first front 4 teeth are incisors. The first front 4 teeth are incisors. It helps in cutting and biting the food. Then there are 2 at the side in the corners. There are canines, the sharp pointed chisel shaped teeth. These help in tearing the food. And then the 4 more teeth are they which has a cusp-like structure are premolars, and then again 6 molars. These both premolars and molars helps in chewing the food, helps in crushing and grinding the food, Clear? So, what is the dental formula? If we divide 16 in half, it will be 8 in number. So, 8 is like incisors are 2 in number, canines are 1 in number, premolars are 2 in numbers, and molars are 3 in number. In case of temporary teeth, this molar teeth is absent. In case of temporary teeth or milk teeth, the molar teeth is absent. Now we will study about the parts of the teeth, which in later we will see the diagram and we will try to relate it. Okay. Now teeth are the hardest structures present in the buccal cavity. Clear? They help us to cut, shear and masticate the food. They help us to cut, tear and chew the food which we eat. Now the vertical section of a tooth shows 4 layers as enamel. Remember, because in next slide only I will show you the diagram. It has 4 layers: enamel, dentine, cement and pulp. Okay. Enamel is the outermost. Enamel is the hardest substance of the body. Enamel is the hardest substance of the human body. The white teeth which we see, this is known as enamel. Then dentine. Dentine makes the bulk of the tooth. Okay, it makes the bulk of the tooth and contains 70% inorganic salt. Then with the help of cement, it is lined at the bony socket. The tooth are lined at the bony socket with the help of this cement. Then the dental pulp or gum, we can say the gum. Okay, the dental pulp is the central soft part of a tooth and we all know that it contains many nerve endings like blood vessels and nerves, okay, which is a connective tissue. And I have already told you about the 4 types of teeth: incisors, canines, molars and premolars, and their function. So what is the incisor? Cut the food, canines tear the food, while premolars and molars grind and crush the food. And what is the dental formula? 2, 1, 2, 3. And in case of temporary teeth, it will be 2, 1, 2, 0. 2, 1, 2, 0, because in their case molars are absent. In their case molars are absent. See, this white part number 1 is enamel. Okay, this is dentine, which part forms the bulk of the tooth, and then pulp chamber, gums and root canal. This is the root canal, which is supported by the ligament, and it contains blood vessels and nerves, and this is the root opening. Clear? And this is the crown, and this is the root, and the middle part is known as neck. Now we will study about esophagus. When we chew the food, it forms a bolus. When it mixes with saliva, it forms a bolus, and this bolus passes through the esophagus. Esophagus is commonly known as a food pipe. It is a food pipe. Okay, the swallowed food passes into the esophagus. It is a muscular tube about 25 centimeter long. How much centimeter long? 25 centimeter, and it has a valve at each end. It has a valve at each end, at the entry of the esophagus also, and at the exit of the esophagus also it has a valve. Okay, what is the function of esophagus? The function of esophagus that it transport the food and fluid after being swallowed from the mouth to the stomach. It transports the bolus into the stomach. Okay, and the food is pushed down by peristaltic movement. Now what is peristalsis? We will read about it. Peristalsis, in just next I will teach you all what is peristalsis. Now first let me tell you that this is the esophagus where the food is traveled into the stomach. Clear? Now when we do stomach. Now what is stomach? See, this is stomach. Stomach is a J-shaped pouch. Stomach is a J-shaped pouch. It is a muscular organ. The stomach is a thick-walled bag-like structure. It receives food from the esophagus. It receives food from the esophagus at one end, and they have a valve. They have a valve which acts as a gatekeeper, and opens into the small intestine at the other end. And the other end of the esophagus, see, this end, from this side the food enters, and from this side it opens into the small intestine. This is the end where the esophagus ends and the food enters into the stomach, and from here it enters into the small intestine. Now, and at the other end, the inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus. It secretes mucus, okay, hydrochloric acid and digestive juice. So this hydrochloric acid kills the germs present in the food. We will study in detail. In later on we will study in detail. Just now right now we are reading the function of this organs. Okay. Now this, when food is churned into a semi-solid mass in the stomach, it is called chyme. When the food, the bolus which has come in our stomach, it has turned into a semi-solid mass in the stomach by mixing with this mucus, hydrochloric acid and digestive juice. Then it forms a solid mass, which we call it as a chyme. And the enzymes are also present in the gastric juice which break down the food. This gastric juice contains this HCl. HCl activates inactive pepsinogen into active pepsin. I am repeating myself. This HCl activates inactive pepsinogen into active pepsin, which further, pepsin is an enzyme which converts or which breaks down protein into peptones into proteins into a simpler form. It breaks down protein. Now hydrochloric acid helps in partial digestion of protein and kills harmful bacteria. Okay. Now mucus, which is secreted by the wall of the stomach, resists the action of HCl on itself. It means it prevents the stomach organ from ulcer. Mucus secreted by the walls of the stomach resists the action of HCl on itself. It does not let it harm on itself. Now small intestine. Small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, which is about 20 feet long in humans. It has duodenum, the region which follows stomach. Jejunum is the middle part, and ileum is the later region. So small intestine consists of three parts: duodenum, jejunum and ileum. Okay. Now you see this is the small intestine. This is the small intestine. It is so highly coiled. As we can understand that it is 20 feet long. It is highly coiled, and the internal surface of this intestine is folded into a finger-like projections. It's folded into a finger-like projections called villi. We'll study about it. Now a common pancreatic duct also from pancreas and liver opens into the duodenum. The pancreatic duct contains pancreatic juice and hepatic juice. This opens into the duodenum. Okay. So, and most of the chemical digestion and absorption takes place in the small intestine. This villi is a finger-like projection which increases the surface area and helps in the absorption of the food. And so the maximum absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. Most of the chemical digestion and the absorption takes place in the small intestine. Now large intestine. The large intestine is also about 5 feet long. See, it is 5 feet long. This also has three parts, cecum, colon and rectum. Cecum, colon and rectum. Now, cecum, colon and rectum. They have not written cecum, but it is cecum also. The region of the large intestine after ileum is called colon, while the last part is called rectum. Now, colon has three regions: ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon. See, ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon. Clear? Here only in cecum only there is an appendix, which is a vestigial organ. Now, at the base of ascending colon, a small finger-like outgrowth is seen. Is called an appendix, which I have shown you. It is a houses for many useful bacteria and required for digestion of food. Appendix is also a house for many useful bacteria. Means the local bacteria reside over there, which is required for the digestion of food. Now, rectum opens to outside by anus, and the anus has internal and external sphincters. See, this rectum leads to an anus, and this anus has a sphincter which regulates the bowel movement. Clear? Next, I told you about the peristalsis. Now, what is peristalsis? I told you that the esophagus the food passes from esophagus to stomach with the help of peristaltic movement. So, what is peristalsis? Peristalsis is a constant wave-like movement of the alimentary canal right from the esophagus to the small intestine. It's called peristalsis. Okay. Now it helps in the movement of bolus in a wave-like motion. Okay, from directly right from the esophagus to the small intestine, and the muscles present in the alimentary canal are responsible for peristalsis. What is the function of what is the this movement only helps to push the food through the alimentary canal. Now, so we read about the alimentary canal. I told you that alimentary canal and digestive gland together they make up the digestive system. Alimentary canal and digestive gland together they make up the digestive system. Now, there are several glands which produces digestive juices that helps in the digestion of food. Salivary gland, gastric gland, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, for few to name. So, what are the digestive glands? Salivary gland, gastric gland, liver, gallbladder and pancreas. Liver is the largest gland. Okay. Now, what is salivary gland? Secretes saliva, which initiate digestion in the mouth. Gastric gland, it secretes hydrochloric acid and enzyme pepsin, which I have told you. Liver secretes bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. Liver secretes bile, and this bile, the food which we are getting from stomach, is acidic because of the presence of HCl. Now, this bile contains sodium bicarbonate, which neutralizes the acidity of the food which has come from stomach. It neutralizes. Okay, bile helps in neutralizing the food, and it also helps in digestion of fats. So, there are the two functions of a liver. Now, pancreas also secretes many digestive enzymes, and its secretion is called pancreatic juice. It contains many digestive enzymes like trypsin, chymotrypsin, lipase, amylase. Trypsin and chymotrypsin helps in digestion of protein. Lipase means it helps in digestion of lipid. Lipid is the other name of fat. And amylase helps in digestion of carbohydrates or starch. Now, pancreas. The pancreas, you can see, this is the pancreas. The pancreas is a long, flat gland behind the stomach in humans. It is one of the major digestive gland because we have discussed about few enzymes, that is trypsin, chymotrypsin, your lipase and amylase. These all helps in digestion. Now, endocrine as well. Now, pancreas is a mixed gland. It is both endocrine and exocrine in nature. Endocrine means ductless, and exocrine means with duct. That means it secretes their secretion directly onto the blood. when we are saying endocrine, and exocrine, that means when we are they are secreting into a duct. That like endocrine, that means they are releasing a hormone. They are releasing a hormone directly onto the blood. And which are the two hormones? Insulin and glucagon, which maintains our blood sugar level. When there is a high sugar level, insulin is secreted. When there is a low sugar level, glucagon is secreted to maintain its level. An exocrine gland, it secretes an enzyme. It secretes an enzyme. So, pancreas include trypsin and chymotrypsin, which is a proteases. It digests proteins, and it also includes amylase, which digests starch, and lipase digest fats. Clear? Now, holozoic nutrition. I have already explained you what is holozoic nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which animals take their food as a whole is called holozoic nutrition, and the food passes in holozoic nutrition. We read that the food passes in 5 steps: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Now, what is the physiology of digestion? Mechanical digestion of food takes place in the buccal cavity. So first, mechanical digestion means we break down, okay, the complex food substances into a simpler substances, and the saliva gets mixed and it turns into a bolus. Clear? Now, digestion of starch starts over there. Salivary amylase converts starch into maltose. In the stomach, the churning of food takes place and the relaxation of muscles. It breaks down the food into a more simpler substances. Then digestion of protein also starts in the stomach with the action of pepsin. Then proteins are broken down into a simple smaller fragment called peptide by the action of pepsin. Who activates pepsin? HCl. HCl activates inactive pepsinogen into active pepsin, which further digests protein. Now this bolus, after mixing with gastric juice, it turns into a fine soluble form which is known as chyme. Then chyme enters into the small intestine, where complete digestion takes place due to the action of various enzymes. The pancreatic juice, bile, and intestinal juice secretes an enzyme and helps in the digestion of food. Now, the digestion food is completely absorbed by the villi and microvilli of the small intestine. Now, I have already told you that in small intestine there is a finger-like projection known as villi or microvilli, which increases the surface area and helps in the absorption of food. Now, undigested food enters into the large intestine, and the colon is responsible for absorption of water in large intestine. What is the function of large intestine? It absorbs water and salts, whereas rectum stores the undigested food and temporarily before defecation. What is defecation? That is potty, removing, throwing out the waste. Now, digestive system in other animals. Digestive system in different animal vary in structure, in function. They all have their different structure, and so they have different function. So, structure of digestive system depends on the food habits of the animal. It depends on the food habits of the animals. Like herbivores, it contains cellulose, so they have an enzyme to digest cellulase. Okay. On the other hand, they don't have. On the other hand, alimentary canal of carnivorous animal is comparatively shorter because meat gets digested faster, and but cellulose does not digest faster, so it stays in the stomach for longer time. Now, anatomy of digestive tract. The alimentary canal is humanly approximately 30 feet long. It starts with mouth, end in anus. There are two openings. Alimentary canal in the tube is diameter. I've told you. Esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine are the parts of the alimentary canal. Salivary gland, pancreas, liver act as a major digestive gland. So, glands in the wall of the stomach and small intestine also contribute towards digestion of gland. Now, what is the role of HCl? HCl in the stomach secreted by the glands present in its wall. Then pH of is usually 1.5 to 3.5, which is acidic, and it helps in killing the germs which has come through food. It helps in killing the germs which has come through food, and this acid also activates pepsinogen. I told you, inactive pepsinogen and prorenin into active pepsin and renin respectively. Pepsinogen into active pepsin, prorenin into renin, and this helps in digestion of protein. This pepsin helps in digestion of protein. So it provides acidic medium for protein digestion, and it kills bacteria entered through food and prevents infection. It prevents putrefaction. Putrefaction means assimilation of proteins of food in the stomach. A thick layer of mucus secreted by the mucus gland. It prevents the action from it prevents itself from the action of the gastric gland. If there is an excess, acid damages gastric mucosa and created gastric and duodenal ulcers. Okay, if there is an excessive secretion of HCl, then it creates ulcer. Now, salivary gland. Salivary glands are exocrine glands. It secretes saliva. What is the function of saliva? The function of saliva is that it lubricates and protects the soft and hard tissues of the oral cavity. It also gives protection from dental caries. It prevents the microbial growth in the oral cavity. It encourages soft tissue repair, decreasing clotting time, and it helps in digestion of the starch and convert into maltose and glucose and dextrin, and it acts as a solvent which solid particles can dissolve and enter the taste bud. Clear? Now there are three major parts of pairs of salivary gland: parotid, submandibular and sublingual. Parotid beneath the ear, submandibular and sublingual. Clear? Now, glandular epithelium, many small glands present in the inner layer of the take part in the digestion. These glands, which are epithelial lining of the stomach, then these are responsible for connecting the things. This all helps in digestion of food, carbohydrate, protein and fat. Clear? So, intestinal juice completes the digestion started by the pancreatic juice. This intestinal juice only completes the digestion. This villi and this is the structure of villi and microvilli, which increases the surface area for the absorption of food. Okay, see, it contains, and the finger leg is called villi, and it's so folded that increases the surface area for the absorption of food, and digested nutrients pass into semi-permeable villi through diffusion. This digested nutrients which are absorbed, these are passed into the semi-permeable villi through diffusion, or we can say osmosis. Villi also helps in chemical digestion of food by secreting digestive enzymes. Now, liver is the largest gland, and liver secretes bile, which helps in digestion, and liver secretes bile. This bile contains alkaline substances which neutralizes the acidity which has come from the food, from the stomach, and this liver also helps in digestion of fat, and it filters the blood coming, and it detoxifies various metabolites and drugs, and the liver makes protein important for blood clotting and other functions. It processes hemoglobin from the dead and worn out RBCs. Okay, it processes hemoglobin. We have read that the RBC are destroyed in liver. Again, it processes hemoglobin from there for the iron content, and conversion of harmful ammonia to urea takes place in the liver. These are the digestive juices which I have already explained you. You all can go through this and it would be easy for you. Now, the water are absorbed in the large intestine, or the salts are absorbed in the large intestine, and to makes us remaining indigestible food matter make the stool solid. This is why when the waters are absorbed, this is why it makes the stool solid. And the large intestine also helps in absorption of vitamins and made by bacteria that normally live in the large intestine. Okay. Now, rectum stores the undigested. Then when it gets signal, it opens and we piss it. It comes out in the form of feces. Thank you. I hope this video would be clear. If you have any problem, please tell me. I will clear your doubts. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you. Take care.